Assalamu alaikum. I'm Ali Khaj, the Angel Warrior of the Midwest, and a messenger of the covenant, representing the messenger of the covenant, the breaker of the seven seals, the self-taught one, Master Suleiman, who's given us the Injil, the Gospel of Revelations, with the Injil key that gives us the understanding of the unsealed scriptures. This is Up Late Update with Malik Hodge on this Saturday, August the 27th. This is where we take current events and give the understanding of them through the perspective of the Injil, the unsealed scriptures, and we give you the understanding of what's taking place in real time in the world from each topic from the Injil, the unsealed Bible perspective. So let us begin. Pardon me. Throat been bothering me this evening. So we're gonna get through there. And I have to speak a little low. Remember? We're gonna make it through. We're gonna start right off with a couple of things going on with me today. Okay. You probably haven't read much about this in America media, but vast portions of China are drying up amid a catastrophic heat wave lasting longer than 2 months. Not a few days or even the 2 or 3 weeks that would make a heat emergency in California historic, but a whole summer. The extended heat wave has upended daily life in much of China, home of 1.4 billion people. Hydropower generated by dams is at critical storage because the rivers that spin turbines on are drying up. Portions of the mighty Yangtze River, the world's third largest, have been reduced to a LA River like trickle. In Sichuan province of China, there are reports of residents fleeing into underground bunkers to escape the oppressive heat at the surface. These are some of the worst case scenarios. once thought to be decades into the future, absent meaningful emissions cuts that we may soon face in place like Lake Mead and parts of the United States that have seen their highest overnight low temperatures this summer. What does this have to do with our opinion content? I urge a lot because the ongoing climate emergency colors almost everything that happens in Los Angeles. We live in a metro area that makes great statements about global warming and passes laws meant to reduce our emissions dramatically over time, but we remain a structurally car dependent cityscape where life expectancies are shortened because of air pollution, and hundreds of people annually are killed in traffic. Hopefully, that begins to change as the city of Los Angeles decides to make small portions of Griffin Park Drive permanently off limits to drivers. Well, I don't know where that turned off to. Oh, okay. It's a thing. Alright. However, China's suffering a catastrophic heat. Let's call that catastrophic heat wave. And it hasn't been. It's been going. It hasn't been going for a month or 2 or 3 weeks. It's been going for 2 months and going. So when we speak about the drought and the major droughts that are plaguing the globe, the major droughts in Europe, wildfires, now a 2 month and going drought in China, that people are going in underground bunkers to get away from the heat. The biggest river, one of the world's third largest river, has been brought to a trickle. There, what's that? The carbon turbines that water spin. The water has got so long they're not going to be able to spin them. So that's just one thing going on in the weather with the extreme heat. Then, okay, we're going to go right to another series of severe weather taking place that is affecting it's not rock. Yeah, it's not rock. Okay. Okay. Just making sure I got it here and here. I like to have both parts available just in case something goes wrong. Hmm. All right, here it is. Okay. Pakistan floods, desperation and displacement. In Sindh province, the Prime Minister of Pakistan has said the magnitude of the calamity is bigger than expected. Often visiting flood what's this? Maybe that's unseating. Floods hit areas. Shehbaz Sharif was speaking from Sindh province, which has had nearly 8 times its average August rainfall. The floods have killed nearly 1,000 people across Pakistan since June, while thousands have been displaced and millions more affected as the BBC drove through Sindh. There was displaced people in every village. The full scale of the devastation in the province is yet to be fully understood, but the people described it as the worst disaster they've survived. Get a little bit more of this. Floods are not uncommon in Pakistan, but people here said these rains were different, more than anything they've ever been seen. One local official called them floods of biblical proportion. Near the city of Lorcaning, thousands of mud homes have sunk under water. For miles, all that visible is treetops, where the water level is slightly lower. Thatched roots creep out from underneath the water. In one village, the people are desperate for a flood desperate for food. In other, many children have developed waterborne diseases. When a mobile truck pulled over, scores of people immediately ran towards it. Children crying, other children made their way to the lone quench. One 12-year-old girl said she and her baby sister had not eaten for a day. No food has come here, but my sister is sick. She has been vomiting. The girl said, I hope they can help. The desperation was evident in every community. People ran toward car windows to ask for help, anything. On one of the main streets out of the city of Sukur, hundreds of people have settled. Many of them walked from remote villages and were told that help is easier to get in the urban areas, but there's not much difference here. On Friday p.m., Sharif said 33 million people had been hit by the flood, and about 15% of the country's population. He said the losses caused by the floods this season was comparable to those during the floods of 2010 and 11, said to be the worst on record. The country has appealed for more international aid. Inside, it's not that local authorities are not trying, but they admit that they are out of their debt. The provincial government says this is a climate change catastrophe and that the people of Pakistan, especially in the poor communities, have been the worst affected. The solutions will not be quick. Acres of land are waterlogged and the water is not receding fast enough for any rebuilding to take place here. There's not much to do for the people but to wait. Wait for the rains to stop. Wait for the water to go down. Wait for more resources to be allocated to these kids, to these kinds of communities. In the meantime, we continue to be difficult. In the meantime, life continues to be difficult. Now, this is in Pakistan. Floods. 1,000 people then died. And it'll be many more. They said people are getting sick from water diseases. One person called it biblical type rains. That it's rained 8 times more. The average is that more rain 8 times more than their average rainfall. That for miles they see water. The ground is covered for miles. And all they see is the trees coming, peeking, sticking out the top of the water. Millions of people are displaced. This is one area, one side part being deprived of any rain. China is in a 2-month and going drought. However, Pakistan has been hit with 8 times as much rain, and it's still raining. Rains, drought, floods. Unprecedented times all around the world. Unprecedented weather all around the world. Since 2020, the world has not been the same. And we're in unprecedented times. We're not going to round it up right now. We're going to get to our next topic. Excuse me. All right. Right. Russian forces in Syria said Israeli jets attack research facility agencies. Russian forces based in Syria on Friday said 4 Israeli jets had launched a total of 4 cruise missiles and 16 guided aerial bombs against a research facility in the city of Masu. On Thursday, Russian agency reported Syrian troops using Russian-made anti-aircraft weapons shot down 2 missiles and 7 guided bombs. Thus, an RIA said, quoting a senior Russian officer, the attacks damaged equipment at the facility, he said. Russian forces have remained in Syria since 2015 when they helped turn the tide on civil war in favor of President Bashar al-Assad. For several years, Israel has been mounting attacks on what it has described as Iranian-linked targets. Excuse me. In Syria, where Tehran-backed forces, including Lebanon, Hezbollah, have deployed to help Assad fight anti-government forces. Hmm. Okay. Was there anything else for that? That was it on that. Okay. So that's excuse me. Another story on false Israel jets bombing coming to airstrike on Syria, and Russian troops said they stopped two of the missiles and six of the two. What are they doing? Okay. Right, they stopped two of the missiles. Two missiles and seven guided bombs. So false Israel is still striking. America is striking Syria from one end. False Israel is striking Syria as well. So they struck a depot or some or a facility, and they say it was an arms facility. However, the Syrian used the Russian system to shoot down the two missiles and then the six of the 16. So possibly 10 got through because they said 16 right. Okay. Yeah, six that the base missiles and 16 got it. Yeah, 16 of them. So they shot down 6 out of 16, which is that's not good numbers. However, a few got through and they hit um they hit this this research facility. So, and they damaged equipment in the research facility. However, this is just keeping us in the know of what's taking place in Syria. Like we keep up with what's happening in Syria, what's happening in Iran, what's taking place in the Middle East altogether with airstrikes and the war, keeping you informed with what's happening there. So as we see, false Israel is still bombing Syria, saying that the facility is ran, or the Iranian military, the IRGC, has something to do with that facility, so that's why they bombed it. And as well as America turned and made an airstrike themselves on Syria, claiming to keep there was striking before American and their allies, they was striking first to keep them Americans safe and their allies. So let's go to our next topic. Excuse me. Let's take a place now. All right. Let's get on to the Mar-a-Lago. So use this one because it's alright. Then I just okay. Intel officials to assess national security fallout from Trump's Mar-a-Lago documents. The U.S. intelligence community will evaluate the potential national security risks stemming from former Donald Trump's possession of top secret documents at the Mar-a-Lago residence. Director of National Intelligence Avril Haines told top lawmakers in a letter obtained by Politico and dated Friday. Haines told House Oversight Committee Chair Carol Maloney, Democrat, New York, and House Intelligence Committee Chair Adam Schiff, Democrat, California, that her office will lead an assessment of the potential risk to national security that would result from the disclosure of the relevant documents. The Department of Justice, the DOJ, and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence are working together to facilitate a classification review of relevant materials, including those recovered during the search. Haynes wrote, adding that the review will he conduct in a way that does not unduly interfere with DOJ's upcoming criminal investigation. The correspondence represent the Biden administration's first known engagement with Congress on issues of the ongoing investigation ensnaring the former president. Court documents unsealed in recent days have revealed that the Justice Department is investigating potential violations of the President Act, the Espionage Act, and the obstruction of justice. It's also the first known acknowledgement by the intelligence community of the potential harm caused by the missing documents, which prosecutors said Friday include human source intelligence and information gathered from foreign intercepts. Top lawmakers have been clamoring for details about the substance of the documents since the August 8th search of the Mar-a-Lago, but so far neither the intelligence community nor congressional leaders, part of the so-called Gang of Eight, have been briefed. Haynes' response came on the same day that a federal judge unsealed a redacted version of the affidavit that laid out the Justice Department's justification for obtaining a search warrant for the Mar-a-Lago. The affidavit revealed that prosecutors believe Trump was holding a range of top secret documents at his private residence, including some of the former president's handwriting notes. We are pleased that in response to our inquiry, Director Haynes has confirmed that the intelligence community and Department of Justice are assessing the damage caused by the improper storage of classified documents. A Mar-a-Lago, Scaife, and Maloney said in a joint statement to Politico. The DOJ affidavit, potentially unsealed yesterday, affirms our grave concern that among the documents stored in the Mar-a-Lago was those that could endanger human sources. It is critical to the IC move swiftly to assess and, if necessary, to mediate the damage done, a process that should proceed in parallel with the DOJ's criminal investigation. The intelligence community's review is likely to encompass whether any unauthorized individuals had access to the highly sensitive document. The Justice Department previously raised alarms about the lax security of the records within Trump's estate. That question could also bear on criminal probe as Justice Department counterintelligence investigators determined whether the highly classified records were compromised in a way. So that's it. This is however, without also a judge is they're still fighting with this the way Trump home went into. There's a lot of people upset about it, and then I've read 2 or 3 different stories about this, different ways that this Mar-a-Lago, this actual same write up or write up was written, and now they're trying to decide how to determine just how sensitive or was the information, and was how the access or just how much security was around the documents. So with that, one of the judges is a judge that she's thinking about, or she haven't made her decision yet. However, she's questioning. She's really questioning how sensitive is it? Did it have to go this far? Did they have to go into Donald Trump's home? So basically, this is showing. It's still a whole lot of decision. People on one side and those on the other side. Republicans on one side, Democrats on one side, and about this entry, the way that they went into Donald Trump's home. And now, they keep one thing they keep sharing that top secret. It's top secret. Now, come to find, they're exposing or coming out with, yeah, it says top secret, but how top secret is this? Or now they're saying is, how could somebody, they're trying to determine the level of secrecy that the documents really are, and that were the documents being secured as they were supposed to be secured for the level of documents. So that's what they're deciding now. So that's what's going on with the Trump Mar-a-Lago highly sensitive documents that Trump is supposed to have. So we're going to bring this to a close. So we're going to go to our wrap up before we close out this segment. The heat wave in China that is over 2 months, 2 months long. And if you think on it, that's 2 months. So you got June, July, and we in August. So you got 2 months. So it's almost hasn't rained this summer. So in the hottest time of the point of the year. So drought is affecting the planet. It really is. Heat is killing people. Killing the agriculture, killing rivers, water wells, just destroying them. Unprecedented trouble. And then on the other side, floods, where there is major drought, and if not drought, there's major rain falling. Pakistan has been hit with 8 times as much rain as it usually receives, killing 1,000 people, displacing millions of people. Children are being sick. Children is not eating. The water is causing sickness. It's water for miles, high as the treetops. They said the water is not going anywhere. It hasn't went away. So it's covering the land. They can't even try to get things together or rebuild or anything because it's just too much water. Floods all through America. All through Texas. All through Mississippi. It's just a time of unprecedented trouble. All over the globe. It's what the angel said would take place. Now, okay. Now, Israel is that the water, the floods, heat. Okay, false Israel targeting Iran, back militant groups or this facility. A research facility in Syria, and also America's attacking Syria as well. Different. So this is what's going on, and in the perspective of the angel, this is what is to be taking place. Extreme weather. False Israel still attacking Syria. Iranian proxies through Syria, and we know that until Iran will be receiving this treatment as it just as Iran did. However, we're also in this time of unprecedented trouble, which we're in this time of the abomination of desolation. So, to keep you right up to date, right up to time, we're still have our eye on the JCPOA, the Joint Plan of Action. Man, did I read that today? There was a few things taking place with that. We'll get into it. However, the abomination of desolation, this war in the Middle East that will be sparked by the JCPOA, because Iran is not going back under the foot of the nations. It really wouldn't be a great call anyway for Iran to settle for this agreement. They can't get an surety in any way with this agreement. The next president could come right in and dismantle the agreement. False Israel is totally against it. They don't want no parts of it. It's people in the Senate and the government that's talking down on the agreement as well. So it wouldn't be wisely to get rid of the things, your progress that you've made, especially when it's not going to stop the tensions and the escalation in the area. It's not going to slow it down. False Israel is already determined and shared that they Messiah, false Israel's messiahs came out and spoke on the issue that they are not happy about this agreement. They're not with it. They have nothing to do with it, and it's not going to stop or hold back false Israel's moves and what they're planning on doing to Iran. That they're gonna carry out just as they will, and they're not concerned with this JCPOA. So, looking at that, and if those in the region and those still, are threatening, it's no reason. I mean, why would you get away when they're coming anyway? So, the abomination of desolation is this war in the Middle East that Michael and his angel, Master Farah Muhammad and his angels are Britain and America. Excuse me. Michael and his angels. Michael's angels are Iran and Syria. The dragon, they will go to war with the dragon, and the dragon is the House of Saudi Arabia, and the dragon's angels are Britain and America and false Israel. So they're going to war with them, and Iran and Syria is going to remove the House of Saud and Saudi Arabia from the Middle East. They're going to remove America and Britain out of the Middle East, and they're going to siege and destroy false Israel. Now, a lot of people call it a shock of the hour because they're thinking that God's or the rapture is going to come back or Jesus is going to show up and stop and save false Israel at a nick of a dime at right before it's taken out, and they're going to be shocked. And when they see what happens, they're going to be shocked when they see false Israel seized and destroyed. They're going to be shocked. They're going to blow their mind. It's going to blow their tops off, and it's going to make the world able to see exactly who the true seed of Abraham is. That the black man and woman, the original people of America, is the true seed of Abraham. Not the demons, but the original people of America. So, this is what's taking place in this war in the Middle East, and the outcome of it is going to let the world know that the black man and woman is the true seed of Abraham, and that at that time, this will be the spark that will produce the war of Armageddon, which will start with America attacking Russia. After this war, they're going to blame Russia for supposedly assisting of Russia to Iran in Syria. So they're going Britain, America is going to blame Russia for intervening, so to say. That's what they're going to say. So they're going to attack Russia, and that's going to be the beginning of the War of Armageddon. Excuse me. Just skip my brain. However, that's it. That's where we are. This is what we're looking for. The event that is highly anticipated by us. And these events that we're speaking on, this weather it's extreme. It's unprecedented. It's unprecedented trouble in the government. As you can see, the government is having unprecedented things happening with that. They're kicking in ex-presidents' homes. They're taking sides. They're speaking how to weaponizing the laws against the presidents and those that using the laws. They fix the laws to work for. So this is what's taking place, and we'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna wrap this up. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time, 11 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock Eastern, and 9 o'clock Pacific. So I'm going to greet you in the greeting words of peace, of Assalamu alaikum.